and ask about flu shot availability and other vaccines. Free prescription delivery, mail-out service, and dependable courteous service are Hicks & Baugh's way of doing business. Hicks & Baugh's Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday. It's time for The Lighter Side with Ron Barry, being brought to you today by the Brownsville Historical Society and Nemacolin Castle, the Sandwich Shop and Deli, Tate's Auto Repair, Jeffrey W. Hughes Photography, Tracy Counseling Center, and John and Son Catering.
Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this is.
Hello, and welcome to The Lighter Side. I'm your host, Ron Barry, on this blustery, wintry Tuesday afternoon in beautiful downtown Uniontown. This is show number 86, and we're approaching the 2-year anniversary of the start of The Lighter Side, which was, I think it was December 23rd of 2004. 2003, I'm sorry, when we got this thing off the ground, and I'm pleased with where it's gone and hopefully where it continues to go. So anyway, we had our annual Thanksgiving show last week where I was joined by a friend of mine, Michael Malone, third grade teacher at the Brownsville Elementary School, and we featured some recipes from some young chefs-to-be from the third grade class at Brownsville Elementary, and all the other teachers took part in that, and we had a good time. We got them in under the wire. We read a lot of them. We read them, all of them, and so we hope the kids enjoyed hearing those, and we hope Mom and Dad and Grandma and Pap and everybody were listening, and we had a good time. And you know, if we followed some of those directions, boy, we'd be in trouble. But so anyway, hello, TJ. How are you, sir?
Good, Ronald. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful. Did you recover from Thanksgiving, my friend?
I did.
All right. All right. No turkey overload there, buddy?
No, not as far as I know.
Yeah, we had, we had a good meal. You know, all the kids and everybody were there.
That's
so
good.
Excuse me. That's what it's all about.
Likewise.
Yes. So now, since Thanksgiving's over, you know, all the attention is turned toward Christmas. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Christmas, you know, a lot of your Fayette County fire departments are collecting toys for Tots. Uniontown Fire Department spearheads that. Brian Van Sickle and Hillary Griffith and others do a great job with that. So my fire department, we're proud to be a part of that again, as are many fire departments here in Fayette County. So, you know, if you have, you know, toys that you'd like to donate, new, unwrapped toys, you know, feel free to drop them off the Uniontown Fire Department or if you're in Brownsville, the South Brownsville Fire Department, or a host of others. So if you're not sure, call your local fire department and they'll tell you whether or not they participate in that. So we may have something planned in conjunction with Toys for Tots. We're working on that right now, so hopefully I'll have more news on that for you next week. All right, so the bad dad joke of the day. Hey, Thomas Jefferson.
Hey, Ronald.
Did you know that I once worked in artificial intelligence?
No.
Yeah, one day my boss told me to figure out a way to make Old MacDonald's farm run on AI. AI, I said. AI, he said. Oh, I said.
Oh, Ronald.
All right. So I'm going to try something different today with the bad dad jokes. I have 16 of them, all Christmas themed, and I'm going to go through them in rapid succession. So, unfortunately, we couldn't really find any suitable background music for this. So, you know, hum to yourselves. All right. So, you know, these are so quick that TJ won't even have time to put the drum roll in. So
we'd wear it out if we did.
Yes. So why do reindeer like Beyonce so much? Because she slays. What reindeer game do reindeer play at sleepovers? Truth or Dare. What did Santa say when he stepped in a big puddle? It must have reindeer. What does Rudolph want for Christmas? A pony sleigh station. Oh boy. What is Santa's dog's name? Santa Paws. Where do Santa's reindeer stop for coffee? Starbucks. What's every elf's favorite type of music? Rap. What's the absolute best Christmas present? A broken drum. You can't beat it. What happens if you eat Christmas decorations? You get tinselitis. What do Santa's elves learn in school? The alphabet. What do you call an obnoxious reindeer? Rudolph. What do grapes sing at Christmas? 'Tis the season to be jelly. What's the difference between the Christmas alphabet and the ordinary alphabet? The Christmas alphabet has no L. What did the gingerbread man put on his bed? A cookie sheet. What do snowmen eat for breakfast? Ice Krispies. And who is never hungry at Christmas? The turkey. He's always stuffed. 16 rapid-fire bad dad jokes, courtesy of a gift that was given to me by WMBS on-air personality Bill Madden. It was a bad dad joke book, Christmas theme. So, Bill, if you're listening, you'll know I put that to good use, buddy, and I thank you for that. So, today, since there is a blanket of snow on the ground, even though it's turning to slush as we speak, we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas. The very first show that we did, the very first theme was the holy grail of Christmas toys that you wanted as a kid. That one thing that you absolutely had to have, and whether or not you got it or not, your version of the Red Ryder carbine action 200-shot range model air rifle with the compass in the stock and this thing to tell us time. All right? What was your version of that? Okay? You think back to your childhood. Was there one toy that you absolutely positively just had to have and you obsessed over, like Ralphie did with the Red Ryder BB gun? Okay? What was your version of that? Give us a call on the WV Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line at 724-438-4593 and tell us about it. And also, this goes back to you folks who were kids before 1993, which I think I would leave you out, TJ, but you're just a youngster compared to me. But how many of you remember and anticipated the arrival of the Sears catalog every year? The Sears Big Book, and for Christmas they had the Wish Book. It would come in the mail, and my brother and I would fight over it to see who would get to look at it first. I just remember laying on the living room floor on my belly and I had a big belly, still do, but I was just leafing through those pages and just, salivating over all those awesome toys in there. All the different, racetrack sets and train sets and all this cool stuff. How many of you remember that? And did you anticipate that? And I did a little research, and Sears printed the last print version went out in 1993. That was a long time ago. Okay, with the advent of the internet and everything like that, there's really not too much need for printed catalogs anymore. But I'm sure our local mail carriers don't miss the Sears catalog at all because, I'm sure that added a lot of weight to their bundles. Matter of fact, I remember one episode of Cheers where Cliff was in a bad mood. He said, "Oh, forgive me, it's Sears catalog week." Yes, if you watch Cheers, Cliff was a mailman. So, and TJ, like I said, you were, I don't think you were you around in 1993?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
But I don't remember that.
Well, like I said, I bet you next time you mention it to your parents, I bet they'll remember. The Sears catalog came every year. Sears put a big catalog out every year with all their products in it. Mm-hmm. But they had a Christmas edition of that called the Wish Book. And because that's what what many of us, all we could afford to do was wish.
Yeah.
So, but every once in a while, got that holy grail of Christmas presents. And one in particular I remember, I was into electric trains. I still am. Not as much as I'd like to be, but there was one made by Tyco, and it was called the Chattanooga Choo Choo. And I remember the TV commercials for it. It had a boxcar with a rattling sound that made the chug-chug sound as it went around the track. And the locomotive actually puffed smoke. There was oil that you put in it. And I just had to have that, and my parents led me to believe there was just no way. Well, I got it, and that was one of the more memorable Christmases I had. So, how about you, TJ? Was there one thing that you really wanted, like a pair of Jordans or something like that? That are you from the Jordan generation?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
The pumps.
Oh yeah, I remember
The
those.
pumps,
Yeah.
remember those? I don't remember any of that stuff, Ronald. How do you remember this kind of stuff?
Well,
I'm sure there was tons of things I wanted.
Well, I remember there was these toys called Super Jocks, and they had a football player and a basketball player and a hockey player. I had my brother got the football player and I got the hockey player, and the basketball player, and he was about a foot and a half tall, and he had his arm back like this. If you can see me on the camera. And you'd set the basketball on his arm, and you'd push down on his head, and his arm would fling forward, and it had a hoop. Mm-hmm. All right, you had to try to see if you could make it in there. The football player, he had a little square football,
Yeah.
and he would kick it. Same thing. You had a goal post. All right, and you would. And I just remember the slamming sound all day long of us pounding the heads of those things, making them kick the football or shoot the basketball. And the hockey player, of course, he had a stick, and he had to shoot it into the goal. But I remember those. Those were called Super Jocks. And I remember those. Of course, the Evel Knievel toys from my generation. All the cool kids had those. And when they would wind up, they would make a sound. And then, matter of fact, a company started manufacturing those again. But Evel Knievel had a toy empire. And I remember, every so often, like a couple times a year, ABC's Wide World of Sports. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, well, they would showcase his latest stunt. He was going to jump over something and usually end up half killing himself. Mm-hmm. Like when he jumped the fountains at Caesar's Palace, boy, he got tore up. I mean, his body looked like a rag doll when he hit the ground. And then he made that rocket cycle and he was going to jump the Grand Canyon. That didn't work out too well. But, marketing-wise, I mean, he made a fortune on us kids. That he had the little, starburst, or the Star Spangled jumpsuit and, and the helmet and everything. And you'd wind that thing up and he had a ramp. You'd jump over it. So I remember doing all those things. And when you have a brother who's close to you in age, my brother and I are only 15 months apart. Mm-hmm. So we played together a lot. And we destroyed a lot of toys, too.
I'm sure.
Right? We would go down to G.C. Murphy's in Brownsville and buy these plastic cars, little police cars, fire chief's cars. They were probably about maybe a foot long or so. Mm-hmm. And we would take a shoe, we'd put a tennis shoe on the floor, take a board game board and make a ramp. Okay. Put it over top the shoe. Yeah. So we'd have a ramp on both sides. And we'd lay on either side of the living room, just ram those cars into each other. They would jump up the ramp and slam into each other, and pieces would go flying everywhere. And I remember one time I had a little tractor trailer. It said Kmart on the side of it, a little plastic tractor trailer. And one time we just slammed those into each other, and there's pieces of that truck that I never did find. I mean, it just totally disintegrated. But that was fun. Not exactly conducive to the life of the toy, but no. They were cheap anyway. But we used to do that kind of stuff all the time. And all right, so we're up against our first break. We're going to go ahead and take that. You're listening to 590 AM, 101.1 FM, W266DB, WMBS Uniontown.
No Magical Mystery Tour is complete without a stop at the Sandwich Shop and Deli, just off of Abbey Road at 121 Brownsville Avenue in the Square, Brownsville. Enjoy a made-to-order sandwich with a bowl of Sabina's homemade soup, try an authentic New York bagel slathered with one of their delectable toppings, or perhaps just a visit to the coffee bar for a delicious gourmet brew. Don't forget a cookie, brownie, or tempting dessert, fresh baked daily. Call 724-785-4089. The Sandwich Shop and Deli, Brownsville.
When you need to service your vehicle, there is one local shop ready to meet all your needs. Nate Tate and the boys at Tate's Auto Repair in Uniontown do it all, from engine work and routine maintenance to tires, brakes, oil changes, and state inspections. Call Tate's today at 724-550-4756 or stop at the shop at 250 Connellsville Street to ensure your vehicle is ready to go for any trip in any weather. Tate's, proud sponsor of the lighter side on WMBS.
Are you looking for professional photography for your wedding or engagement, senior photos, or any other special event? Well, then look no further than award-winning Jeffrey W. Hughes Photography, also offering photography classes, workshops, and tours of the Laurel Highlands. Get in contact at 724-322-0034 or visit jwhphotography.shop.
Bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland.
Well, if you don't know who that was, you don't like Christmas, and that was the late great Bing Crosby. And something about his voice is just soothing, just like it just bounces along, and that baritone range of his. And I always liked Bing. Not just at Christmas time. When I was a kid, though, we had the Bing Crosby Christmas album, and that was one of the few that we had. So we played it over and over and over and over again. But my brother, my sister, and I, we all own that album today because we grew up with it. So that was Bing Crosby Winter Wonderland. And if you went out this morning, if you weren't unfortunate enough to have to drive in that mess, it did look like a winter wonderland. It was snow was covering everything this morning, the trees and everything. It did look nice, aside from the fact that it was a sloppy mess. And if you had to drive in it, I hope you got to your destination and back safely.
Yeah,
Did you have any trouble coming in?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was a wreck out there, Ronald. It was bad today.
It was, and there was a lot of accidents this morning. We responded to our borough plow truck caught fire this morning.
Wow.
That was the first thing that happened this morning. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. My assistant chief happened to be driving it, and quick thinking on his part, he got his shovel and started throwing snow on it, and
there you go.
He put the fire out. So
That's
firefighter
smart.
ingenuity, yes. So I'll tell you what. While we're waiting for the possibility of a call on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. And I want to know what that one thing was that you wanted as a kid for Christmas. And did you get it? Did you not get it? I also want to know if you remember the arrival of the Sears catalog, and if you remember whiling the hours away leafing through that catalog and looking for things that you wished you could have. Okay? But anyway, this trivia question, I was actually going to do it last week, but we didn't have time. We wanted to get all the kids' submissions read, and we did. So we didn't have time. So this is more of a Thanksgiving question. But the winner, if you get this answer, if you call in and get this correct, you'll win a signed copy of my book, Jobtown. All right, so the question is, what trick does Lucy play on Charlie Brown every year at Thanksgiving? That's an easy one. What trick does Lucy play on Charlie Brown every year at Thanksgiving? Okay, give us a call on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line at 724-438-4593. Give us the answer, and you'll win yourself a copy of Jobtown. All right, so do you know the answer to that one, TJ?
I do.
All right.
Because you asked me last week.
But I think you would have known it anyway.
Well, I probably would have known this one, yeah.
So, I guess a lot of our callers must be out in the woods trying to bag a deer or something.
We do have a call right now.
All right, here we go. Hi, you're on the lighter side. Who are you speaking with?
My name's Barb.
Hi, Barb. How are you?
Been better, been worse.
Okay. Do you have the answer to our trivia question?
I thought I did. I was going to say putting the football down and moving it away, but I think it had to do with a little tree instead.
No, you're right. She would hold the football and pull it away. Right before he kicked it, he would flip up in the air and fall flat on his back.
Poor nasty Lucy.
Lucy was known for that, yes. So, all right, well, you won yourself a copy of signed copy of my novel, Jobtown. You can stop by the WMBS offices anytime during normal business hours. Pick that up.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Did we lose the other call? Do we have another one?
Yep, they're gone.
Yeah, that's
Guess
exactly.
they knew the answer.
Yeah. He would come running up and he'd say, I'm going to kick that football to the moon. And he'd run up and she'd yank it away and flip up in the air and boom, right on his back. All right. So, yeah, poor Charlie Brown. I mean, the lovable loser, Charlie Brown. I think we all have a little bit of Charlie Brown on us. All right, we have another call. All right, we'll take that. You're on the lighter side. Who are we speaking with?
Ron, you're speaking with Mark from Republic.
Hey, Mark, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. We're talking about toys you always wanted when you were a kid that you got, you mean?
Got or didn't get? Either one.
It was a toy that I got, and I have to admit, it was the coolest toy that was ever made.
What was it?
Did you ever hear? It was back in the 1960s. I don't know if it might have been before your time. They were called Johnny Eagle rifles.
Nope, never heard of them.
Yeah, that was back in the 1960s. I guess they made an M1 rifle. They made a hunting rifle, and I got an M1 rifle just like my dad carried in World War II.
Oh wow!
And a 45. And I'm telling you, the darn things were real. They looked real. They actually fired a bullet, and a little projectile.
Right.
But it was actually real. I mean, they were the coolest things you'd ever seen.
Well, I know in the 60s, especially during the Cold War, war toys were popular and combat toys.
Yeah.
There wasn't a TV show called Combat that was on back then?
Oh, I watch it every Saturday night.
Oh, is it still reruns?
Oh, they have reruns, that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I know that was a popular TV show. The Rat Patrol, I remember, was seeing reruns of that. And, Victory at Sea, the documentary series. But I know, G.I. Joe was popular then. And
that was. I never had I never wanted a doll.
No?
No, I never did.
I never had a G.I. Joe, but I had this like cyborg type thing called Pulsar, and you'd push this button and blood would pump through his his veins. I remember I had that, but and of course, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that sounds like a toy I never wanted.
Right. And my brother had a Stretch Armstrong. Do you remember those?
No, I guess I was too old for toys.
Well, Stretch was like a wrestler, and he was made out of rubber, and you could stretch his arms way out. It had this red jelly in it, and after he stretched it about 15 or 20 times, he'd start to bleed. Little bits of that jelly would come out of him, and then that was the end of him. But I remember that very, very well. But as always, Mark,
I remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Everybody, I remember that.
They're still around. You can still get those.
I remember it actually made it onto All in the Family, where Archie and the Meathead were fighting, and Archie knocked.
Archie knocked his block off. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I vaguely I do remember that. Of course, there were so many great moments on All in the Family, but it's but yeah, that toy you can still get Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They're still made. Your local stores do have them. And we have a set down at the firehouse. So when the guys get a little bit bored, they get those out.
So their aggressions on each other.
That's right. But yeah. Anyway, but. Yeah, thank you for sharing, and thank you for being such a loyal listener to the show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Ron.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. All right, Mark from Republic. All right, so we about due for the second break there, sir, or a little early yet?
You're way early, Ronald.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, Mark just shared with us what he wanted and got. So how about the rest of y'all? What do you think? I remember the very first show that we did, and that was the subject. We didn't get too many calls, but I remember the two women in particular called, and there was a doll that they remembered. It was almost like a little homeless girl that wore a burlap sack. And I looked it up, and sure enough, Mattel did make that doll, Baby No Name or something like that. And it was your job to give her a home and that sort of thing. But she had like a burlap sack on with a patch on it and everything, and she was just sad looking. And nowadays, I don't know if they could get away with selling something like that because it might stir up feelings of depression or something like that. So I don't know. But yeah, I remember when our very first show. That was two ladies called and mentioned that particular toy. So, all right, we have a call. We're going to take that. Hi, you're on the lighter side. Who are you speaking with?
Hi, this is Denise. I'm the lady about the doll.
Oh, okay. What was the doll's name?
Little Miss No Name.
That's her. Yeah.
That's exactly how she looked. She just made me feel like I felt like her when I was growing up.
Well, did you actually get one?
No, I never did. No.
So I did look it up, and I think Mattel made those for like a year or so. But yeah, I saw the commercial too. It's on YouTube. Yeah, sad. So I hope things got better for you over the years.
Well, it got as good as it could get, right?
Well, I guess so. But so you were one of our very first callers to the lighter side then.
Yeah, I was sitting here listening, and that thought came in my head when you was talking about old G.I. Joes and all that, and she popped in my head, and then you said it. I said, let me call in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, and thank you for being a listener to the lighter side. We're coming up on 2 years already.
Yeah.
So,
I'm 69 years old now. I'll be 70 next year.
Well...
Yes, and I still ain't got her.
Well, you never know. You might find one sometime. But,
yeah, because that's how I just like connected to her when I first saw her.
Well, I wish you the best, and thank you for being a listener to the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. How about that, TJ?
That's amazing.
Our very first caller back, and again, almost 2 years ago. So, but she said Baby No Name. Is that what she said it was?
I think.
Yeah, I think that was what it was. But yeah.
And I said you have such a good memory, and then look at that.
Yeah, I do. Kind of, sometimes. But, it's just... sometimes we connect with the toys that we have.
Yeah.
Remember, there was this talking van. It was called the Max Machine, and you could program it. You'd push like the forward arrow twice, and it would go forward a little bit. You pushed it 3 times, it would go even further. Then left and right, things like that. It was called the Max Machine. I had one of those when I was a kid. There was a real popular toy. A lot of the girls had it. It was called Lemon Twist. And what it was a plastic lemon, and it had like beads in it, so it rattled when you shook it. And it was on a like a strap with a loop around it, and they'd put it around their ankle, and they would jump, and the lemon would come around, and they would jump over it as they went around. It was like
I remember this thing.
Yeah. So they still make those too. They're a little hard to find, but they still do make them. So, but yeah, I remember those. I remember the clackers. Those like plastic balls that they would just on a like a cord, and they'd come up clack 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 clack. Those things were annoying, but I remember those.
I don't know if I remember those. Like maybe they sound familiar.
Now, do you remember the Mattel handheld electronic games? Football, baseball.
Oh yeah.
All right, they just went beep 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 beep.
Yeah,
beep, beep.
I think we had those. We probably did.
And they just little red dots moved along the screen. They had football, basketball, baseball, and I think they had car racing. But I remember everybody had to have those. We had a bowling one that was about this long, okay, and you could steer the ball when you went up. You would release the ball, and you could kind of steer it into the pins and everything. It was pretty cool. Yeah, we had played with that thing for hours. I remember I had a game called the Wonderful Waterful of basketball, and it was a little game and filled with water, and you'd push these buttons to make the water kind of pressurized, and you push the little basketball around and try to get it in the hoop. I remember that. I had one of those. So I probably broke it and the water leaked out of it. But we were pretty destructive.
Sounds like it. All kids were.
Yeah, that's why not too many of those toys exist today. But some people were smart and saved them, and in the original boxes and everything. But man, we played with our toys. They weren't showpieces. Like Tonka trucks. Those things are pretty much indestructible. Those steel.
Yeah,
trucks.
we had some of those.
What we would do with those is, we lived at the streets around our house were kind of on a hill, and we'd put one knee in the bed of that dump truck and push you off with the other foot and just ride down the hill in those things. And how about a big wheel? Did you have a big wheel when you were a kid?
No.
You know what a big wheel is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those the battery powered things, right?
No, this one, you pedal this one. You're thinking of the
I don't know what those are called. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
I was like power wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, power wheels. They might have had those when I was a kid, but truthfully, as big as I was, I probably would have burned up the motor. Too heavy for it, but yeah, I had a big wheel.
Okay, what's the big wheel?
Big wheel is like a tricycle, but it's it had one big wheel in the front, it had handlebars, and you kind of sat and reclined in it. And if you were really good at it, you can make it do. You can make it drift. You can make it slide around. It had a brake right here. Everything. My brother and I had, of course. Anytime I say my brother and I, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
did you destroy it eventually?
No. Eventually they just wore out. That plastic wheel just wears out. But yeah, we crashed them into each other and everything, and it's a wonder we're still here. I mean, some of the goofy, dumb stuff that we did. But I remember the big wheel. I remember riding that down 2nd Street where we grew up and everything, and I remember that. Remember, my brother got a soccer ball one year, and we didn't know how to play soccer. We just took it outside, kicked it around, made a goal on either side, and that's pretty much all we did with it. Because youth soccer didn't exist yet. It didn't come along till a few years later. Now it's very popular. Did you play soccer when you were younger?
I did.
Yeah.
Our oldest son plays soccer.
Well, like I said, none of my kids got into soccer, but football and baseball and softball they played. But yeah, if soccer had been there a little bit sooner, I know I probably would have played. But yeah, we didn't know what we were doing with it. We just kicked it around, and we knew you couldn't touch it with your hands. So we would just kick it back and forth. Okay, so now we're going to take our second break.
There you go.
Are you listening to 590 AM, 101.1 FM, W266DB, WMBS Unitown?
No Magical Mystery Tour is complete without a stop at the Sandwich Shop and Deli, just off of Abbey Road at 121 Brownsville Avenue in the Square, Brownsville. Enjoy a made-to-order sandwich with a bowl of Sabina's homemade soup. Try an authentic New York bagel slathered with one of their delectable toppings, or perhaps just a visit to the coffee bar for a delicious gourmet brew. Don't forget a cookie, brownie, or tempting dessert. Fresh baked daily. Call 724-785-4089. The Sandwich Shop and Deli, Brownsville.
When you need to service your vehicle, there is one local shop ready to meet all your needs. Nate Tate and the boys at Tate's Auto Repair in Uniontown do it all, from engine work and routine maintenance to tires, brakes, oil changes, and state inspections. Call Tate's today at 724-550-4756 or stop at the shop at 250 Connellsville Street to ensure your vehicle is ready to go for any trip in any weather. Tate's, proud sponsor of the lighter side on WMBS.
Are you looking for professional photography for your wedding or engagement, senior photos, or any other special event? Well, then look no further than award-winning Jeffrey W. Hughes Photography. Also offering photography classes, workshops, and tours of the Laurel Highlands. Get in contact at 724-322-0034 or visit jwhphotography.shop.
outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought me some corn for popping. The lights.
All right, that's Steubenville's own Dino Martin. He was Dino Crescetti when he was born in Steubenville, and there's certain. All the Christmas songs that are out there, usually everyone has a favorite version or a favorite singer who does their rendition of that song. And that one, I picked that one for today because, Dean Martin does my favorite version of that. And then Bing Crosby does my favorite version of Winter Wonderland. Like White Christmas, Bing Crosby, hands down. It's the most popular Christmas song of all time is Bing Crosby's White Christmas. But there's just certain versions of the song that certain artists are known for, like Jimmy Durante doing "Frosty the Snowman" because he did the Christmas special. He narrated that, and I'm gonna do my Jimmy Durante, and it's very, very bad. But TJ, you've seen the special "Frosty the Snowman," right?
Yeah.
All right. So. I'm going to do my Jimmy Durante, all right?
Oh, God.
All right?
Okay.
It was the first snow of the season. And when the first snow of the season came on the day before Christmas, you knew something magical was bound to happen. What do you think? Not too bad, huh?
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. He had a very distinct voice, okay? Oh, where are we at here? Okay. Just checking the time there.
See that?
Yeah, I just pushed it over a little bit more. There we go. Okay, but yeah, Jimmy Durante. I love those old Christmas specials because they had, like Fred Astaire did Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Burl Ives did Rudolph, and Jimmy Durante did Frosty the Snowman. Later on was Frosty's Winter Wonderland, where he actually got married, and Andy Griffith did that one. So I mean, they all had popular singers from the time that did that. And when Frosty Returns, I remember Jonathan Winters narrated that, and John Goodman played the voice of Frosty. But he's the original Frosty. Jackie Vernon played the voice of Frosty the Snowman, and it was just something classic about that. So looking forward to watching those with my grandson when he's old enough. I don't think he's not even a year old yet, so he probably wouldn't know what's going on. But yeah, hopefully next year he can sit with me for a minute or two and watch those with me. So I was kind of looking forward to that. But anyway, Charlie Brown Christmas. It was really one of the first. It came out in 1965, and Charles Schultz, who created Peanuts, insisted that they put the Bible verse in from the from the Gospel of St. Luke, where Linus tells the story of what Christmas is all about. The producers at CBS, or the powers that be at CBS, didn't want to put that in there. They didn't want the jazzy soundtrack either by Vince Guaraldi, but they left all that in there, and good thing they did because it's classic.
It is.
Does anyone know what Christmas is all about? And then when they go get the tree, it's just hilarious. So you say Charlie Brown Christmas tree, everybody knows what you mean. They mean one that's like falling apart with all the needles off of it and everything like that. So. But anyway, so we still have some time left. So a couple of our listeners have shared with us what they really wanted. Some got it, some didn't, for Christmas when they were a kid. Maybe that in Mark's case, that was a model like the M1 Garand rifle that his dad carried in World War II. It was a for lack of a better term, toy version of that. And Denise, baby no name, unfortunately, she didn't get it, but here's hoping maybe one day she will, But, and TJ and I talked about a few things that we remember. And during the break, I showed him a picture of a big wheel, and he indeed did have one when he was a kid.
Yep.
And, I don't even think they make them anymore.
Probably not.
Everything's motorized now. Lord forbid a kid actually, pedal something.
I was going to say, do they make regular bicycles anymore that you pedal?
That they do, but everything's e-bikes now. You know?
E-bikes.
Yeah. You have an e-bike?
I do not have an e-bike. Probably never will.
I don't either. I mean, I just have a regular pedal bike, but my bike, for some reason, is a 10-speed. It switches gears on its own. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'll be going up a hill in one of the lower gears, and
it just switches gears.
Yeah, it'll go into one of the higher gears, and I'm like, I can't push it. You know what I mean? I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if the cables are, if it either it's a mind of its own or the cables are screwed up or what. But it's just my bike. And I bought it brand new, and it's a Schwinn. It's a good bike, but I don't know. Don't know what's going on with it, but. But I was thinking, there's so many different things, how our taste changed when we're kids compared to, when we're adults. And, there's a part of me, and you could, if you know me, you can tell a mile away, but there's a part of me that's still a kid and always will be. And I don't make any apologies for that. I mean, that childlike quality that I have, sometimes it gets me in trouble, but, it's just one of those things that I don't want to let go of, and Christmas. I still enjoy Christmas. When my kids were growing up, now that I have a grandson, of course it's going to be even more special. But your kids are still little, and so enjoy them while they are little, buddy, because they're not going to be little for long. How old are yours, TJ?
They're not even little anymore. 9 and 5.
Yeah,
I was going to say. I mean, I guess they are and they aren't, but growing fast, man. It goes fast.
Before you know it, you'll be at high school commencement, and then then college graduation.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be at Notre Dame when one of your kids graduates from there. Yeah.
In your dreams, Ronald.
Yeah, in my dreams, you're right. But I get to work commencement. I don't have anybody graduating, but I get to work commencement anyway. You
do?
Yeah, I can go out there. I did one year.
What do you do?
Well, just help people with their seats and stuff, because they have it at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
Help people with their seats and things like that. And actually, it gets kind of hectic, especially right before it starts. People scrambling around trying to find seats and things like that.
I bet.
And when I did work commencement, I got to see Jerome Bettis, as you know. Left early for the NFL draft when he was at Notre Dame, but he promised his mother he'd go back and get his degree, and he did. Matter of fact, he earned his master's degree from the Mendoza College of Business at Notre Dame. So he was, my first commencement that I worked, he was the keynote speaker.
Awesome.
So I got to see him there. And then, of course, I met him the last time I was out there. So I showed you that picture, right?
Probably. I think you did, yeah.
Of the bus and myself.
I think you did, yeah.
We're tight now,
Oh,
the bus and me.
The bus and me.
Yeah, we go way back. No. But he was... Everything they said about him that I had heard is true. He's a nice guy, stand-up guy. Really, really appreciates the fans and everything like that.
Yeah, you never hear anything bad about him.
Right. Even when somebody tried to extort money out of him all those years ago, it didn't go anywhere because they knew better. But anyway, so let's see. You got
less than a minute now.
All right. Well, when I get talking, buddy. So anyway, remember to support Toys for Tots. Support the Salvation Army, support charitable giving, not only now, but all through the year. This is, it's been, again, almost 2 years, and it's been a good ride so far. Let's hope it stays going for a good while. So, thank you to all who listened to The Lighter Side, all my sponsors who've stuck with me, and, through all this time. And, we enjoy bringing the show to you. So, Lord willing, we'll be back next week, and thank you for listening.
You've been listening to The Lighter Side with Ron Berry, which has been brought to you by the Brownsville Historical Society, the Sandwich Shop and Deli, Tate's Auto Repair, Jeffrey W. Hughes Photography, Tracy Counseling Center, and John & Son Catering. And it's cloudy and 31. This is WMBS Uniontown at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said